Okay, and with that, we want to bring to you a bit of breaking news that we're getting from the White House right now. Press Secretary Jen Psaki saying the president is closely monitoring the developments in Ukraine, and he will continue receiving regular updates from Jake Sullivan, his national security advisor. He also spoke with his UN ambassador, Linda Thomas-Greenfield. You just heard from her before this meeting tonight. Again, this is an emergency meeting that is going on with ambassadors around the world. And we're hearing new information about possible cyber attacks that are going on, specifically with Ukrainian banks, state and local institutions. That's what's being reported as of this moment. It's already a nationwide state of emergency in Ukraine at this time. I want to bring in foreign policy expert Michael Santo. We're just going to talk for a second here, and then we'll get right back into the remarks at that emergency meeting. But how substantial are these updates here in that this is not just imminent anymore? This feels like it's going on now.
This is a really historic, in a scary way, moment for all of us in our life, because this is a quasi-confrontation between the two nuclear superpowers, and there really, truly are only two. And, we're not going to defend Ukraine. We can't afford to because of the dangers involved. It's not a NATO member. We're not committed. Years ago, we said that we wouldn't necessarily. But this is an event, unfortunately, of enormous historic significance. It's undoing basically the peaceful transition after the Soviet Union, the peaceful efforts of Gorbachev and Reagan. And in some ways, it's undoing the Helsinki process that we launched with the Soviets in '75. This is a huge, very dangerous moment that we're watching right now because, hopefully it works out for good, but I can't overstate how dangerous the situation is right now.
Right. Soldiers already being deployed to Ukraine at this time, and further attacks are soon, is what we're hearing from our U.S. ambassador, also the Secretary General in the beginning, pleading with Putin to stop troops from invading Ukraine. Could anything come of these, please?
I think it shows the huge significance and how terrible this moment is for Europe, the world, and America. It could completely transform our world into a very dangerous situation, like some of the worst times during the Cold War, even like the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Euro Missile Crisis. I think it's very dangerous, actually. I think that our only hope to stop this is somebody in Russian society, government or military, is able to talk sense into Putin and stop him and say, the future for Russia is economics and technology, not war. And here's why I think it's really dangerous. If you study his pattern over 22 years, even when he's prime minister, I think this is what he always wanted to do, to basically rebuild the stature and power, military power of the Soviet Union. And I'm afraid that his calculation is this is the peak of Russian military power. It's only going to go down. So this is his chance to undermine the world order that heroic people like Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Mikhail Gorbachev, and Shevardnadze, the foreign minister of Soviet Union, worked so hard to create a peaceful future for Europe and the world, where Europe would not be divided by an iron curtain and Russia wouldn't be at war with Western Europe and the United States. And he wants to undo it. He wants to refight the Cold War. And he's shown that it's not always cold for him. His contractors attacked our forces in Syria in February 2018. Unfortunately, we could have clashes here because I think that Putin is an incredibly dangerous, hardcore KGB personality. And I think that's what we're seeing unfolding. Unless somebody stops him, they're going to conquer Ukraine. And it could be very, very ugly, right. I'm afraid to say.
I do want to cut you off here for a second, Michael, because we're getting in that President Putin is speaking live on Russian state TV right now, and he has said that they have decided to launch a special military action in Donbass right now. So that is a very, very substantial statement from President Putin amid this emergency meeting with UN ambassadors.
Now, I will say that we crossed the point of danger zone if and when, and unfortunately appears it's imminent, Russian tanks start to encircle Kyiv, that they go quite a bit farther than Donbas. And there seems to be this very costly massive buildup to do something massive that could involve cruise missiles and airstrikes against major Ukrainian cities. This special military operation that Putin is ostensibly announcing is more of a add-on rather than massive escalation. Unfortunately, all signs from U.S. intelligence and satellite pictures suggest that as soon as in the next few hours we could see something massive, and the cost in Ukrainian and Russian lives could be terrible. So it's a very dangerous situation, and it could be an immense human tragedy unfold in Ukraine for Russians and Ukrainians.